What's up, guys? Today what we're gonna do is make a mealworm pupa sifting tray. So what I got here is, it's a kebab grill. You can get them at the dollar store. They look like this. I have two. I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna do kebab tray versus cookie tray and make the slots. See, I was already connecting two holes together and making a long slit. So what I'm doing is taking this chisel, hammering it through this, and making a hole. And with the lip on the inside that you make, the metal lip, what you can do is bend it to your desired size so that only the worms will slide through. Because my thing is I'm thinking, because there's two holes on each end, when I'm shaking, the worms will slide into the little groove, I don't know if they'll get pinched or just go straight through, but no matter if I keep shaking it, they'll slide into the big holes and just fall through, and then the pupa will be left up here. Because this pan tray, these holes, the pupa can't fit through these holes. So we're gonna give that one a try, and then I'm gonna try just making fresh slits out of a blank pan. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. So I'm just using a chisel, a hammer, a flat piece of board. Let me see if I can get it to where I can show you guys what I'm doing. I'm not sure how well I will be able to, but I'll give it a shot. That sucks. Okay. So what you're gonna do, take it, you're gonna put it between, yeah. Alright guys, so once you get done with popping the holes in, you should be left with something like this. So I use two holes, I believe it's a I think it's a 1.5 inch wide chisel, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. But anyway, you pop this in there, get yourself like this. Right now it doesn't look like it can support it, so what we're gonna have to do is, hold on, let me set you guys up real quick. Alright, so what we're gonna have to do to get the right size for the mealworms is take your chisel, and we're gonna do this hole, push it in there just a bit, just a hair, just to where you know it's big enough to where the worms could get in, but the pupa can't come out with them. So what I'd recommend doing is just playing with it and finding the right size that works. There's no said specific way to do it. I wanted to do a DIY because I saw on eBay that pupa sifters are like almost $100 or if not better, and who the hell wants to pay $100 when you go to your dollar store, pick up a freaking not a bacon sheet, but it's a kebab sheet, and you can do this, or you can do it out of a regular pie tin. It takes a lot more effort, and it's really down to the size of the chisel you use for this. But I personally think I'm gonna go with this one, and I'll just make this one off camera and just try the difference. But I know for sure this one will work better, because when you're shaking them side to side, what's gonna happen is the mealworms are gonna get stuck in the little slots. Well, not stuck, but pinned to the little slots, and then when you shake, they'll slide over to the holes on the ends and fall through. Okay. Now, once you've done that, got it to the size where you think your mealworms will fit through, or even just sit there and then slide them left and right when you shake to get them to slide out the sides. So I'm gonna get all that done right now, and then I'll show you guys once I'm finished and how it's gonna look. The backs here is gonna be a little rough, but you can get a file and sand them down. I'm just not going to, because there's not going to be no kids playing around my sifter. But this is just a quick, cheap way to do it, so you don't spend a fortune. This cost me $1, and I had the tools laying around. So literally, if you had to buy a hammer and a chisel, it'd cost you like between $7 and $10 for everything. So I mean, versus $59 on eBay or Amazon, that's a little ridiculous. So let's get this finished, and then I'll get back to you guys. Guys, so we're back. I got it all done. See, as you can see, it looks like I just made them big enough so that a mealworm can slide through and the pupa stays up. So let me show up close how the design should work. So while I'm shaking left to right, that's why the handles are here, I'm thinking with the mealworms and pupas mixed in, mealworms are going to get caught because it leads down, caves in right there. And if they're too big to fit through that little slot, when you shake it left and right, they got these holes on the end. And they're definitely big enough because a superworm can slide through them. So when you slide left and right, if they're still in the way, you'll push them. They'll slide off and push right into the container you're separating the worms to. And that way, this will hold the pupas, but the pupas can't fit through these holes. So, which is good. So pretty much that's what I'm not gonna do the other pan just because I think this is gonna be enough. And let's try this in action. But first, what else? Fuck, what else am I gonna say? So yeah, this right here is like the cheapest you can make a pupa sifting tray for. It's super functional. Or not super functional, but you can make it to meet. Oh, fuck. Alright, guys. As you can see, this is the pupa sifting tray all said and done. Made it so it works. It doesn't look the most fancy, but I guarantee you it'll get the job done. This is just a cheap and quick way you guys out there can make a pupa sifting tray for next to nothing. It just cost me 10 minutes of my time to go to the store, get the tray, bring it home, pop the holes in it, bend it because it's sheet metal. What I would recommend doing though is if you're using this when you're making it, wear gloves because it's like a freaking cheese grater. It is so sharp back here because it's rough edges. You can get a file and sand them down if they're gonna be in a place where you're likely to get cut. But this is gonna be going into my my worm room, and it's gonna be used all the damn time. I just figured because when you see them for sale, they're so expensive, and a lot of times they're made of wood, and they'll just get destroyed after a period of time because wood degrades. But I figured, well, let's figure out the cheapest way and make one that can last you for a very long time because it's steel. So just go to your local dollar store and go to the baking section and look where they have it. It should be beside the cookie trays. It's a shallow one. It's probably like a half an inch deep, and it's called, I think, a kebab tray. So you set that over your grill and it lets the fire and smoke come through the pores. And then you just pop them in between and bend them to the desired size. You can use it for mealworms. You might just want to do it differently, but you can do it for a bunch of different stuff, just different sizes. But let's go check this thing in action.